Good morning. Welcome to Workforce Skills with John Morse. Another day out here in Phoenix, Arizona, just grinding away, doing what we do best. And it's difficult sometimes. We just keep putting one foot in front of the other. We keep pushing, we keep grinding. And I swear to God right now, I feel like I'm just being smacked every which direction with different problems, different issues. And I'm just embracing every problem as it hits me. And sometimes I sit back and I wonder, man, how do I make it through the day? I've got a pad of paper on my desk. I write a list of everything that I got to do as the day goes on. And I try to get through everything. But at the end of the day, I promise you, half that list does not even get accomplished, and it carries over to the next day. Eventually, those items do get taken care of, but it's very, very difficult. You know, we're dealing with something in real time right now. We've got a situation, and I just want to talk about this for a little bit because I want to talk about women in construction, women in painting. There is nothing wrong. I've got some women that work for me that are painters that are better painters than half the men that work for me. They've got an eye for detail, an eye for attention. They know what they're doing. And it's amazing how strong these women are that work for me. We're looking for some of the best out there, and I've got them working for me. It's amazing. But we have a situation, and we have to protect the women in construction. We have to protect the women that work for us. They're part of our family here at PHP Commercial Painting. They are family to us. And we've got a situation where somebody was harassed on this week on Sunday. Here we are, we're recording today on Wednesday, so it's been a few days. And she was afraid to say anything to anybody. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're a woman in construction and somebody bothers you, somebody does something to you, makes you feel uncomfortable, you better say something. We have to protect these women. There is no excuse for this, zero whatsoever. You don't grab a woman, you don't touch a woman, you don't talk down to her. They are your equals on the job. If the girls that work for me, they are equals out there as painters, period. These women are phenomenal women. They're strong women, and we have to protect them. You have to have things in place to protect the women that work for you. You can't let them just go out there and, okay, you're going on a job site with 50 dudes and expect them nothing to happen. So there has to be training within your companies. There has to be training within every company. Even if you're a company out there that does not employ women to do the jobs that you do. Let's say you're an electrical company or a plumbing or framing and drywall, and you don't have women working for you, you better start training the people that work for you. You've got to educate them on how to act and what to do and be appropriate out there. It amazes me how I'm trying to bite my tongue right now because I want to let loose. I really do. It's really pissing me off right now, some of these guys out there, and how some of these men just act like animals. You would not do that to your mother, your sister, a family member. Don't do it out there on the job site. Protect the women out there. And for you out there that own a company, that you're an employer and you've got guys working for you, you have to educate these guys. We train our people in-house, and we're going to get better at it every time something happens. Every time something like this happens, we get stronger, we get better, we create new procedures, new ways to handle things. In this situation right now, what we're looking at is I've got to create an incident report specific for this. I've never had to do this before. How are we going to protect the women that work for us? How do we deal with this situation? Fortunately for us, it's been a few days, but the building right behind it has cameras. They're able to pull the footage for the last week, and they're going to help us and pull this up. And I promise you, whoever did this, whatever happened out there, I'm going to make sure charges are pressed to the fullest to do whatever we need to stop this. There needs to be an example made against this person, period. It's unacceptable. So how do you train your people? How do you implement this? For some of us, we don't know how to deal with these situations because we've never been in it. We don't know how to react to this. We don't know how to respond. And if you're in that situation, then find someone to come in and educate your people. I don't care where you find them. You find somebody that can come in and train the people how to act, how to deal with situations in the workplace. We try to do a training once a month in our office on a Saturday, and it's not mandatory. It's optional for whoever wants to come in. And I promise you the next one we do is going to be based off of sexual harassment and how women are working in the workforce, and they have to be treated as equals, period. Zero exceptions. I want to make sure every woman that works for me is protected. My wife works for me. She's in the front office. She's busy with my accountant today. I don't think she even knows what's going on, but I know she's going to lose her mind when she finds out about this. It's difficult. We've got the general contractor we're working for, and they understand what's going on. They're going to support us in whatever we do, but they kind of want to be on the back burner and stay out of this. To me, that's unacceptable. I don't care who you are, what's happening out there. If it's part of your job, everybody gets involved. Everybody makes a difference. We are a subcontractor for this contractor. This contractor needs to step up and do something different and help us in this and figure it out and make something happen. What you have to do is it wasn't one of our employees that did it. It was another subcontractor and their employee. It wasn't somebody that works for us. This person works for another company. So now we're dealing with the other contractor. We're calling them, we're emailing them, we're letting them know the situation. We're letting them know we want to press charges against this person, and we're going to find out who it is. If it was somebody in my company, we'd be pressing charges right now, period. No exceptions. But it was somebody else in another company. It was another trade. And right now, I don't have all the details. Everything's playing out right now as I'm sitting here talking to you guys. And as the information comes, things are going to change. I don't know how we change this. I don't know what we do moving forward. I'm telling you guys, I'm so angry. I'm so frustrated right now with this whole situation. And for the woman that works for me to feel like she had to wait a couple days to say anything and held it back because she did nothing wrong. Period. This is unacceptable. And this other contractor, I'm going to make it known that he's got a predator working for him. Period. And we're going to find out who it is, and we're going to press charges. The general contractor who we're doing a job for, who we're the subcontractor, and the other subcontractor who has the employee that did this to our employee, the contractor needs to get involved. They need to step up and not just say, hey, we're going to support you, but we're going to stand back and let you do whatever you need to do. They need to get involved because it happened on their job site. It's unacceptable. So how do we make sure this doesn't happen moving forward? The education part. We're going to educate everybody that works for us on how to deal with this situation, how to protect your people. How do you protect your family? What would you do if this happened to your mother, your daughter, or a sister? It's crazy because I think about these things, and there's a side of me, I call it the dark side, the evil side. I think all of us men who love and respect women, our family members, we would never let anything happen to our children. And I tell you what, if anything happened to my daughter or my grandkids, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to smile on my mugshot. I promise you. Because I will do anything to protect my family, period. There is no excuse for this action, for this behavior. And the fact that this is happening out there, and for somebody to think that that is acceptable, I feel for his family. I really do. I hope that it isn't a repeat person that should have been taken care of a long time ago. There's no place for this anywhere in this world. So we're going to educate our people. We're going to have our next training is going to be based on this. Even if I have to pay someone to come in to do the training that specializes in this, we're going to make something happen. And I don't know how it looks, but I know that I have to do the right thing. I have to proceed with this, and I have to proceed with caution too, because I don't want to do anything that's going to cause me to get in trouble by saying, okay, well, I'm going to smile in my mugshot. But the reality is we all feel that inside us. We get that angry where I think we all have a moment where we get upset at times where I think I see red. I always try to stay in control of my emotions, my feelings. I want to think logically, but there comes a point to where certain things happen in your life that you lose your mind. You don't know how you're going to react. temporary insanity, whatever you want to call it. But for the people that work for me, this is my family. This is my company. These are the ones I'm going to protect. I'm going to help. I'm going to help them get better. I'm going to help them proceed. And when I've got good workers that show up every day, that love the company, love being here, they want to work harder, they want to make more money, and I want to help them grow, they need to know that I'm going to be there to help protect them in situations like this. I have to protect them. And everybody out there in the company needs to understand they have to protect them too. As a family, as a collective, as a group, we protect our own. And the training starts now. Looking at this, I've had a couple situations in the past, but never anything like this. And, they've been easy situations. I've heard guys say stuff about girls on a job site, and I've nipped it in the bud, and I've told them, hey, you can't speak like that. You don't do this. I've heard other trades talk about a girl that used to work for me. And, even though she wasn't my daughter, she was a young girl. And I'm standing there listening to these guys, and I said, hey, guys, just stop that. That's inappropriate. And first of all, that's my daughter. And I'm going to go talk to the superintendent and get you kicked off this job site. I didn't even have to do that. Those guys packed their stuff up and left right then and there because they didn't want to suffer the repercussions of their actions. They knew they were in the wrong. It's unacceptable. We don't treat people like that. We treat people with respect. We treat them how we want to be treated. Last week I talked about building relationships with general contractors and different people out there. It's the same within your company. It's the same with the people you're around. You want to build relationships with everybody around you. How do we create $1 million company with our relationships? It's no different than this with your employees. How do you create employees and retain them that want to stick with you for a very long time? It's by standing up for them and taking care of them and being there for them when they struggle with other things, not just in the workplace, in their personal life. And in situations like this, they need to know that they have your full support. You have to build systems in place. You have to build procedures for every situation. And it's interesting, as the business continues to grow and morph, you don't know what you're going to deal with day by day. This is new for us. So we're dealing with this in real time. And how do we fix it? And how do we change? How do we proceed with this? So knowing that this is happening, it's going to be a learning process. I do a lot of information and different things with ChatGPT. You can Google it. I know after this podcast, I'm going to sit in my office and I'm just going to start typing and trying to figure out what I can do, what I can make change in my company, and how do we proceed with this? I want to be able to protect them. I want to make sure they're safe. We talk about all the ocean requirements and safety harnesses and ladder protection and fall protection in construction businesses, but this also has to be a safety training part of our procedure. And you don't know today what you're going to deal with tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to get hit with something else. It happens every single day. We had a night job going on the other night. Had to deal with a situation where we had one guy on this job. We're doing a restaurant out in Scottsdale. They're having their grand opening at 10 o'clock the next morning. We had to get the staining of this trellis done outside, and our worker out there was just an 8-hour job for one guy. He started at 8 o'clock. About midnight, he decided, this is too much work for one guy. I'm just going to leave. Didn't call anybody, didn't say anything. The next morning, I'm getting an email. I'm getting pictures of the uncompleted job, trying to figure out what's going on. This guy abandoned his job and just walked off the job, didn't call anybody, didn't say anything. So now we're dealing with that situation. We have a lot of night work going on that now I'm looking at changing the procedures of, I need a night project manager to oversee all the night work. That somebody specifically is going to be the go-to to answer phone calls and deal with situations at night. We haven't had that problem before. So we're learning from this and growing from this, and how do we progress and what changes do we make? Every business is always going to change and grow. It's always going to get stronger, get bigger, but you do it by learning from each situation that you run into. I didn't know how big my company was going to get years and years ago when I was working out of my garage with 2 painters. I didn't know that I was going to have the amount of people. I didn't know I was going to be doing commercial and industrial painting in the whole state of Arizona and have guys in every corner of the state right now working for us. But as you grow and you build into that, everything changes. You have to grow with your business, and you can't let the growth get in front of you. You have to control the growth of your business and how you want to proceed. As I'm projecting and looking at what we're doing and adding a couple more estimators, I look at this and, okay, if I add 2 more estimators, how many more superintendents do I have for the amount of work that they can land? How many more painters do I have to hire to handle the workload that these 2 estimators are going to land for us? Because everything in our company starts in the estimating department. So you learn from each process, each problem, every struggle. And there's a lot of people out there say, oh, I want to start a painting company. I'm going to be the biggest painting company. I want to do commercial. I didn't start out in commercial and just start landing all this work. I couldn't go out there and land $1 million worth of work today and know that we're going to be able to handle it 10 years ago. Wasn't going to happen. We had to slowly, gradually grow into where we're at today. And it took time. You know, I remember years ago when I was waiting on one of the first commercial jobs we ever did, and I didn't realize that there's a 30, 60, 90-day wait sometimes to get paid on these projects. And our hands are tied. And I have to provide the labor. I have to provide the materials. And here we are in these jobs, and I'm completed, and we've been done for a week, and I'm calling the contractor, hey, when are we getting paid? Oh, well, you got to submit your pay app. And I had to do an AIA document. I'd never done that before. And here I am filling this form out. I messed it up twice. They kicked it back. They walked me through it, showed me how to do it. And we submitted it. And then 60 days later, I finally got paid on that job. And that was difficult at the time. As we continue to grow and grow and grow, we're at a point with our company now where we self-fund everything that we do. I don't have credit accounts for all my materials. We pay up front for everything. And we self-maintain this. We will self-maintain and fund any job that we're on. And we're on about 25 different jobs right now today. And we're self-funding the labor, the materials, everything, even though I know we're not getting paid for 30, 60, 90 days out. And that's a struggle for a lot of small companies. It's hard to build into that. We didn't just grow into that yesterday. It took years in the making and decision-making and learning from our mistakes and learning from situations like this of how do we proceed, how do we grow from this. You need to learn how to adapt and grow from every situation. You need to embrace your problems, your failures, your mistakes, and learn from it. I've been asked so many times, how big do you want to get? I don't know. I'll let you know when we get there. I don't know where there is. We're going to continue to grow, but we're going to pace ourselves and we're going to control the growth. Right now, on the jobs we're on today, I don't have, I'm 5 men short on everything that we're doing. And I've got about 3 guys that I need to let go right now because they're not worth keeping on board. Because they are the worst painters. They don't show up on time. They're lazy. They drip paint everywhere. But we're so short-handed, I'm having to deal with just having bodies on a job site. So now I got to run another ad. I got to look for more painters. I got to add more people. And it going through, I don't know, 8 to 10 painters, I might find 1 or 2 good ones. Because everybody that walks through the door, oh, I'm the best painter you have ever had. I'm the Michael Jordan of painting. Get out of here. I've heard that so much, and then you put them on a job. I got guys with 2 to 3 years experience that are better painters than guys with 10 to 20 years experience. And it's just because they care about their job and they want to do the right thing. I don't know how many lazy people are out there, but it seems like, man, I get laziness walking through my door every single day of people that just go through the motions. They don't care. And those are the first ones to complain that they're not making enough money. Well, what do you think you're not making enough money for? Because you're not worth the money you want. I had a guy a couple weeks ago tell me, you know what, John, I'm just not happy. You know, I'm 21, and when I was 19, I was making $9 more an hour than I'm making here. I go, dude, you're not worth what I'm paying you right now. You slow play every job. We got to start doing the job that you're paid for and doing it till you do get more money and you're worth the more money. Don't just go out there and think, oh, I'm worth this. I better get this. It doesn't work that way. I don't know how many people out there think they're worth more than what they are. I think we all do. I think it's just, it's human nature. We want more money. We want to instead of making $22 an hour, we want 25. If we're making 25, we want another dollar to make 26. But show that you're worth it. I promise you, you come into my office, you want more money, we'll talk about it. If I don't think you're worth it, I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to list all the reasons, all the mistakes that you've done for us. But if you can change that, if you can get better at this, I promise you, you'll get a raise. Give me 90 days. Stop dripping paint everywhere. Show up on time every day for 90 days. Don't miss a day. Well, John, that's asking too much. Is it really? So your responsibility is pay your rent, pay your bills, buy groceries for your family. What happens if all of a sudden you don't have the money to pay your groceries or your rent? That's on you. Be responsible for your life and what you're doing. Be responsible for your actions. Because believe me, I'm going to hold this guy responsible for his actions of what he did this last week. It's going to happen. But embrace everything that you're going through. Embrace the problems that you have as business owners or even as employees out there. Learn from your mistakes. Learn to be better. Man, if we could all just do a better job out there, just do what we're supposed to do. Show up to work on time. Be 10 minutes early. How hard is that? Well, I'm not getting paid for that. Doesn't matter. You want more money? Show up early and stay late. Be the one they can rely on. Be reliable. Got a guy this morning, man, we started our new program with scheduling and everything. And I get that a lot of people aren't technology savvy, but it's real simple. You get a job list on there, you punch in directions, it gives you the address, you click on it, takes you to maps, it takes you to your job site. Well, it had the map thing on there. He read it, saw it, and he ended up in the wrong place. It's in the city of Buckeye. He ended up going to Lower Buckeye, to a different location that we're working at. And what's crazy is, well, I did it the right way. No, you didn't. We're explaining to you how to do it. Screenshot it, send it to us. See, it even tells you the correct address and you're at the wrong place. So the guy's screenshotting the correct address to us, but he's at the wrong place and telling us he did it the right way. I swear, stupid is just falling out of the sky right now. I think we need to slow down, use a little common sense, just have a little self-control. Think about what we're doing before we're doing it. You know, I apologize, guys. I feel like I'm a little all over the board the last couple minutes and what I'm talking about, but it is rough for me dealing with this situation because, like I said, I'm angry. Today, I am angry about what happened to one of my female workers from another trade, another company's employee, and it has to stop. And we're going to file charges. This guy is going to get in trouble for this. It doesn't end here. And if you have female employees in your company, or even if you don't, train your employees on how to deal with these situations. Because right now, there is so much work in construction, they'll hire anybody. And a lot more women are getting involved in construction more now than ever before. And we have to protect those women. We have to have things in place to protect them from these situations. It is unacceptable. I appreciate you guys listening to me kind of rant here today, but I'm just fired up. And I believe a change has to happen. I believe we have to protect the women in our lives. You have to do whatever it takes, whether it's your daughters, your sisters, your mothers, even if it's not, if it's your fellow coworker. And if you're the predator out there, watch out, because we're going to stop you. Once again, guys, stay hungry.